18 rings, 6 coins to my name, but with 18 rings then I can change the game. Flip them over, turn them around. Oh shit, look, I turned them into a crown. Make it dance, make it work for you. Coin is for the spending, if you scatter it then you'll reap the profits of the seeds you've sown. What do you know, look, I turned it into a throne. We do what we do to keep the water flowing. The more you give, the more it keeps growing. I don't want your gifts, I don't want your charity. I just want to see some other love and prosperity. The wheel keeps turning, the wheel keeps turning, the wheel keeps turning round. If the water won't flow, then the crops don't grow, so the wheel keeps turning round. The wheel keeps turning, the wheel keeps turning, the wheel keeps turning round. If the water won't flow, then the crops don't grow, so the wheel keeps turning round. I make my living by the sweat of my brow, the strength of my voice and my lyrical know-how. I work hard, I spend freely. I'm not rich, but damn, am I dearly pleased to think of virtue and preach it to the masses. The fruits of my labor I use to fill glasses. Life is for the living is the message I'm selling. The scent of success is the aroma you're smelling. The wheel keeps turning, the wheel keeps turning, the wheel keeps turning round. If the water won't flow, then the crops don't grow, so the wheel keeps turning round. The wheel keeps turning, the wheel keeps turning, the wheel keeps turning round. If the water won't flow, then the crops don't grow, so the wheel keeps turning round. Hold fast, 'cause it might sound funny, but the truth is wealth's not just about money. It's the push and the pull and the give and the take. It's the things that we share and the joy that we make. Give me your attention, I'll give you my time. Lend me your ears and I'll fill them with rhymes. I'll give you words to make your soul burn and take your breath away in return. Yeah. The wheel keeps turning, the wheel keeps turning, the wheel keeps turning round. If the water won't flow, then the crops don't grow, so the wheel keeps turning round. The wheel keeps turning, the wheel keeps turning, the wheel keeps turning round. If the water won't flow, then the crops don't grow, so the wheel keeps turning round. 18 rings, 6 coins to my name, but with 18 rings then I can change the game. Flip them over, turn them around. Oh shit, look, I turned them into a crown. Make it dance, make it work for you. Coin is for the spending, if you scatter it then you'll reap the profits of the seeds you've sown. What do you know, look, I turned it into a throne. We do what we do to keep the water flowing. The more you give, the more it keeps growing. I don't want your gifts, I don't want your charity. I just want to see some other love and prosperity. The wheel keeps turning, the wheel keeps turning, the wheel keeps turning round. If the water won't flow, then the crops don't grow, so the wheel keeps turning round. The wheel keeps turning, the wheel keeps turning, the wheel...
I've got my various Google Docs open in case I get stuck, so...
We're live. Just throw that
Oh.
one out there. So I've done it again. We've gone live before everyone is ready. So, apologies. Hi, everyone. I hope you can all hear us all right. It seems to be coming through fine. Looks okay. Surprise live. I haven't done that for a while, actually. I have to do it more often, I think. So, oh dear. Rach. Wonderful stuff. So, Rach is new to the community. She's a Patreon. And she's brand new to chat as well. So, welcome. Ask all the questions in the world. The questions are good. We like questions. Hi everybody. I'm just gonna have to say that because it's all just chat's happened. Chat's been and gone for me so far, and I've had please don't ask about socks. I'm sick to death of socks. This will be the one time we touch on socks. Bring loads. Done. That's it. We're done now. That's good. It's been a hell of a time, Gibby. I will find you and slap you, my friend. I will. I know what you look like. I will throw you off a mountain. He nearly did it himself on Snowdon. It's all good. So where are we? So I streamed last Monday. Oh geez. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 subs. That's amazing. So Will Wears, Penguin Floof, Renegade Badger, Craggle, and Russ. Let's start this off right. Yeah, that's cool. So they've added something into Twitch. So I'll get the important bits out of the way. I think I've got quite a few actually. Twitch have brought in a thing for hype trains and stuff that it's a way, if I'm selected for it, it will appear on screen and say, if your hype train gets to this, basically they'll put my channel on the front page of Twitch, which is insane. The other thing is on my channel, I have things on. I have the little links on here, little tags that you can put on, which say LGBTQIA+, an ally, transgender. Basically, hate raids for people with these tags have gone up about 500%. I have encouraged all of my mods for Twitch that if anyone turns up sprouting anything, just ban immediately, no question, no excuse, ban on the spot. I've had it up to here with this shit, so it's done. So Twitch are sending things out too, so those sorts of things are out there at the moment. Okay, as well. But everyone here is amazing, and I love you all. You are all awesome, awesome people. Oh my God, socks. Fuck's sake. It was always going to be Pete. Let's face it. It was always going to be Pete. So yeah, so that's where we are with that. You'll notice the pouch stuff. We're up to 150 squids. We're doing really, really well. Last weekend I was in the forest. I was in the woods clearing out the Navarre and helping with the. You're right, I guess. Cheers, Matt. Inner shoe liners. Oh Jesus Christ.
Life than socks. I'm sorry, but there is.
Yeah, no. So yeah, we've got so we've cleared out all of the Navarre woods. We've moved the orc border, so everything has got bigger. That we can put more people in the woods, and it's amazing. So that's really cool. Me and Kit especially nearly killed ourselves at that weekend. It was so cold. It was just so cold. So it may look warm during the day. Prepare for cold at night. Really, please do. Where else are we? We've sorted out the extreme makeover stuff. So me, Matt, and our 2 victims are all good. Note to Steve, remember the right sleeping mat. Yes. Well, yeah, remember to pack one that's not fucked. Basically. So yeah, so we've got that all sorted now. So me, Matt, our 2 victims. We've got our 2 camera peeps, and we're good. And yeah, it's gonna be a lot of fun. So yeah, it's looking good. So Liam and Bethany, who are our camera peeps, I think we're planning on starting between 3 and 4 on the Thursday, and probably doing some other bits inside a tent on Friday. But we can't talk about that one on stream because, you know, adult material. I'm not saying it's an orgy, but it's an orgy. Sorry, everyone. I forgot to message you and say I have some lav mics if needed. They connect to phones. Oh, wonderful. Yeah, we could. Yeah, we can see what we can do. Bring them. Let's see what happens. And that's so. Yeah. So that is where we are with everything. There's probably stuff I've forgotten to bring up, talk about, mention, prepare for, and stuff. But it doesn't matter. We're here. We had a little bit of a technical issue to start off with, but that's all sorted now, which is wonderful. Lav mics. Shouldn't be putting mics in the lav, they'll get wet. Excellent. I hope the 5 gifted made up for my lack of attendance. Doesn't matter. You're here. There's no... I don't want people to feel like they have to be here week in, week out. That's not how I operate. I barely operate as it is. I'm so unorganized. It's unbelievable. But I like it when people turn up, chat. That's all I like. If you subscribe, then you subscribe, and it's amazing that you do, because it all goes back into the community. So Ryan's here as well. Excellent. Now the party started. So anyway, so that's everything. I do live for your gaze, Scott. That is a definite, and I cannot wait to see you, my friend. Right, that's pretty much everything I can think of. If I remember anything else, then we'll go from there. Saiph, hi. Can't hear you.
Oh no.
Oh, there we go. That's better.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Hey.
How are you? How are you doing?
Now that my laptop's behaving, I'm alright.
Yeah, good.
It's all my fault, I'm sorry.
So before this, both sat there with our anxieties going mental because things weren't working, and I'm sat here staring at a stream that's running, going, "Oh no, have I got the spoons to do this on my own? Probably not." But we're here. It's working. We're great.
I set everything up beforehand, went for my tea, came back, everything had crashed. I had no cameras instead of 2 to choose from. We're sorted. We've got it.
We're sorted. We are.
I threatened it a bit. It's fine. It's fine.
That's how I get my computer to turn on, by threatening. Jem's here too. Mostly lurking. That's fine. That's fine. Questions and stuff like that from chat. We'll play it all by ear. There's been a fair few questions already, and stuff. But I think more of just a chilled chat about getting ready, prep, and stuff like that is probably a good thing right now for a lot of people, because there's been a lot of talk in the Discord about things that people forget, what they don't bring, what they need to bring, and stuff like that. So I think this is a good start. How is your prep going for E1?
I'm still finishing commissions that I've had for, I don't want to say months.
Are we going to say years?
I finished the one I had for over a year. It's been a weird time. Yeah.
It has. It has been a really, really weird time. Rain Blackthorn. Yeah. Oh, they came up with a nickname for me when we were away camping. I am the Deputy Minion's Minion.
Ah.
As well. So yeah, thank Dave for that one. So, but yeah, this is. I'm knackered already. I don't know about you. I'm absolutely cream crackered right now. My preps, it's not going too badly. I don't know about you. I tend to. We can change the name socks to foot jumpers. Yeah, I like that. I prefer that actually. Foot jumpers. I've seen people call them foot gloves as well. So I quite like foot jumpers. The last 2 years don't count. No, very, very true. Very, very true. I have started sort of packing for E1. I get really anxious about it all. I think is the best way to describe it for me. I will pack. Mr. Star, who am I chatting with? Do you want to introduce yourself to everybody? Tell everybody who you are. Tell a little bit about yourself.
I'll have to.
I could do it if you want.
Yeah, I want to hear you sort of big me up to everyone.
Big you up?
Come on.
Oh,
Yeah.
How tall are you?
5'6".
There we go. This is Saiph. Saiph is insanely talented when it comes to all things creative. She makes wooden... I have got your pronouns right, haven't I?
What have you got them as?
I haven't put anything up yet, I've realised. Because I was running late as well. So I just read you as she.
Yeah, that's right.
Is
yeah.
that right? Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Thank
A
you.
lot of people go with they and no.
No. Okay, no,
Just
she's
putting it out there.
I thought I'd ask after the first
Yeah.
one. So she is insanely talented when it comes to everything, making anything. So if you have seen a wooden shield that actually looks like it's wooden, this is the creator of said item, and it's almost criminal how good it is. I have myself and Kyle came up with a way of describing people who are insanely talented, and it's meant in the best possible way. But we refer to people like this as "get in the bin talented," because it is so good.
Yeah, that's yeah.
Do we
They've got to hate
this?
you.
The phone
That's what I
whisperer.
get a lot.
Yeah, I like that. I really like get in the bin talented. I think it's a really good way of describing people who are that good. So, Saiph has also put out some documents, some PDFs and things for people to read through, Google Docs, about all of this sort of stuff. So good that I feel bad about all of my accomplishments to this point in my life. Alfie, that's genius, and I love that one. That's fantastic. And yes, if we panned out, I am sure we would see more and more LARP stuff behind her.
Maybe that way.
If we panned...
There's a skull.
Oh, we have a skull.
There you go.
Was that
That's
foam?
fun. Yep. I promise. It's squodgy. There you go.
Get in the bin, talented.
I did buy the pattern for that one, so it's cheating a little bit.
Yeah, but still,
I made it better afterwards.
Nexus is right there. It really does look amazing. That looks incredible. So yeah, that is a little bit about Saiph, and that she is. How far are you booked ahead for commissions and things?
I don't have that many at the moment, to be honest.
Jacqueline has just said,
I've only got one or two things on free too so far. E1 is shut. No more for E1.
I can imagine.
No.
Gibby has said, "You are Midas. Everything you touch turns to foam." I really like that. Pattern is like a reference. Nothing cheaty about that. No. So I describe Nexus in the same way that I describe you. Nexus is get in the bin talented as well. Her art is it's insane. She's currently working. I'll have to. They. I can't remember, and I apologise for forgetting next. But they're doing a drawing of Mac and Grimm together, and it's from a photo taken by a friend of mine, Lisa, and it's so good. It is so good. I digress. Anyway, we've gone tangents and stuff like that again. This is great. My packing. Because I get quite anxious about the whole thing. I don't like to forget things, but this is why I've called the stream what I have. So Empire LARP, what have you forgotten? Not even in a question, it's a statement. What have you forgotten? So that's where I am, because I know I will always forget something, and I will pack, unpack, repack 2 or 3 times just to try to get everything, make sure I have everything. It's difficult to do. It is really difficult to do, I find. I've forgotten boots more than once. I bring spare boots now, just in case people forget theirs. The problem is that everyone I seem to know wears boots like size 12. And so they can't fit into mine, because I'm a size 10. So it's all very, very up there. What I've forgotten. My horns once. Yes, we heard about this in Discord, didn't we? Yes.
Gemma.
Yes. Yeah, we heard about this one. I've also forgotten boots. I'm a size 3. Oh, Holly. Very small.
Oh.
So when do you write a list for yourself?
I think I end up with 3 lists. Yeah.
Okay.
I have like all of my actual like in character stuff on my kit, then out of character things, and then my list of commissions to bring, because I mostly remember all the commissions. I forgot to take one to a player event recently, but it's fine. It went in the post.
So you have an IC list, an OC list, and a professional list. Is that the best way to describe it?
Yeah, pretty much.
That's that's sensible, really. I never thought about doing it like that.
Because,
at the Navarre wood clearing, I brought my daughter's airbed with me, thinking I grabbed the double that I normally sleep on. Nope. I broke that. So there's got a nice big hole in the bottom of it. So I ended up the whole weekend just sleeping actually on the floor and using a deflated airbed as like a mat in a way. So I froze. I just froze. It wasn't good. I don't recommend it for anyone. If you just never unpack the car, you'll never forget anything. Just leave it all in there for next time. But Pete, you've got a massive van, my friend. You just don't unpack. You've got everything in it. I think you've still got my chairs in your van as well from HeftyCon that like year and a half ago. So it's crazy. Traveling in your boots, that's sensible. But if it's a wet event, you don't want to travel back in them, I wouldn't say.
Oh, you need car shoes.
Yeah. So for me, I get, when I'm in the car, so once the car's all packed, we'll come back to the packing and everything. I'll have a pair of trainers. I'll have my boots with me as well, or another pair of trainers with me that I don't mind getting a bit muddy, that I can slip on and I can run to the loo in them and stuff like that for the inevitable holding it all in because you're too cold to move. And when I get out of the car, the trainers that I've worn up will stay in the footwell of the car. They won't move until after the event when I'm getting back in which case whatever footwear I'm wearing now will go into a carrier bag, and then I put all my nice clean trainers on, inevitably with horrifically muddy socks or something like, because I'm an idiot and don't think things through properly. So right side of my bag. Thank you, Pete. But yeah, definitely need car footwear. So when you pack, then what's your go-to for packing? Do you have like a ritual you do? Do you have any specific gods that you pray to help you remember everything?
Gemma? Yeah, because say I drive down with Gemma. She comes to my house, puts stuff in the car. She looks at my pile and she's like, "That's a big pile. Also, do you have X, Y, Z, Q, and M?"
Yeah.
I don't know where they are. They're somewhere in the house. Go and find them. Yeah.
I think packing is a spring ritual. Thank you, Jim Bob. Where's your hat? Where's your orc face?
The hat's in the orc face. That's where it was once. Oh, I have a bed hat. Because I wake up with a cold head when I'm sleeping in a tent, so I bring a hat. I
sort of pull the duvet over, so when I'm wrapped up, all you see is this. And that's it. So I can breathe, and that's me done. So
I fully recommend a bed hat. Seriously, the amount of times I've woken up just because my head was cold. The rest of me was fine, just cold head. So hat. Really the time when I couldn't find my hat, it was inside my orc face. So I don't know how, but there it was.
What you all have to understand is we tore the place apart looking for the bed hat. We got to the field, unpacked, the hat fell out of the orc face.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's so much she's not going to let me forget.
Well, I don't think you should, to be honest. There's, I think, for me, when it comes to actually getting everything ready, I think this is going to be the first time I'm going to do it. Helen bought these big plastic tubs, like 40-litre tub things, which we have full of stuff, and I'm going to pack one of those with in-character gumph, and then I will start to put important bits on top of them. So I'll probably put the boots I'm actually going to wear in them, and then I'll start to fill it all up, and then go on from there. Oh, Alfie just said everything is a sock. For those who watch Auntie Donna, to me, that's just brought up everything is a drum for me. If you don't know what that is, you really have to go watch it. I can't, stop, really. Orc face, head sock. Makes sense. But, so when you're doing, what sort of order, I'll shut up for a while, I think. Auntie Donna is the shit. Thank you, Holly. When you're packing them, what's your sort of go-to? Because the reason all this came about was you messaged to say about things that we shouldn't forget. What's the other bits? Because we do the essentials of remember to bring your socks, remember to pack your thermals, remember to pack this, remember to pack X, Y, Z, and that. But it's the other things like extra trousers and stuff like that. So what is your essentials? Take us through your list. Now I've put you on the spot.
Yeah. Well, I have all of my IC clothes, which always involves at least 3 shirts and 3 pairs of trousers, just in case you fall in the mud or it rains or. Yeah. Because anything else you can just chuck other stuff on, but you need your base layers. I think they're going to be hardest to borrow off people. I'll go through my list, right? And these trousers, these shirts, tunic, next layer, sort of work it out from the bottom up, really. Trousers, shirt, next layer, tunic, other layer on top of that, coat, cloak, hat.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Yeah,
that makes sense.
So you're not like.
So what's the most important thing that you've forgotten then? Was there a moment in your life where you suddenly realised I can't keep forgetting stuff and I need more lists in my life and things? That sounded really putting down and stuff like that, and I'm slowly learning how good lists are. I'm so bloody stubborn when it comes to this sort of stuff that I just when people go, you need a list. It's no, I don't need a list. You really need a list, Steve. I don't need no bloody lists. I really need a list. It's ridiculous how much you need a list.
You need a list to remind you about which lists you need to write.
Well, yeah, that too. It's
Your list of lists, the master list.
We'll go with that. I won't say what I've called my list, because I don't think I can actually say it in public without. It's got so much swearing in it. Checklist, yeah. So yeah, Jez, the checklist is so important. So if we ignore, so what would you say then that people don't bring enough of that they should?
Bin bags, kitchen roll, some glue. Glue. Oh, people come to me all the time. You have glue. This is coming apart. Do you have glue? Yes, I have glue. That looks like it's coming apart as well. I've got a safety pin. Do you want? Yes.
Stapler.
Just a safety pin.
Stapler.
Not a stapler. I'm not you.
No. Be grateful.
I think my degree would cry if I tried fixing clothes with a stapler. It's made of paper. It'd get wet. It's not good for anyone. Wow.
Yeah. I think so. I'm a strong, independent man who don't need no list. Yeah. That's where I used to be.
You say that until you go, whoops, that's something I needed.
Yes. I think for me the Navarre clearing weekend was a perfect sign of, if you're not properly prepared, it can all go really badly for you. So, like losing the airbed because I packed the wrong one, I seem to remember the last time it got used, it was going down as well. So I think it just got a lot worse while it's been sat in a cupboard. So I think it's so it is all really my own fault for not being prepared enough. But it would be good to, I wouldn't even know what to put on the list other than toothbrush and icy stuff. Well, this is probably a good thing to do then. So what would you say would need to be on a list? I might actually write this down and make a list. I haven't got my pad anywhere. I can't.
Things I always insist on is plasters, because my boots will decide to betray me halfway through the weekend.
Mm-hmm.
The boots that have been perfectly comfortable right up until time for battle. He is 5 blisters. No, not having that. Whichever painkillers you fancy. You don't want to end up with a headache in the field and be stuck like that. That's a bad time. Various things like that. But yeah, say bin bags, kitchen roll. If you have a big tent, a little sweeping brush is really useful.
Yeah, I've seen a few people. It's like that big, tiniest little like dustpan and brush thing.
I've got one somewhere. Just for like sweeping all the crap out your tent before you put it down.
Let's turn this into Steve Makes a List stream. Let me find. Oh, okay.
So kitchen roll is really good for that as well. If especially if you have like a bell tent and you've got a muddy floor. If that mud is wet and you put your tent down, you'll then have mud on the ceiling. And trying to get mud off the ceiling of a 5-meter bell tent is no fun.
No.
Ask me how I know.
So, I think...
You think it's fine, but they're very tall. They're taller than they look. You just get sore arms and everyone's tired and angry, so...
I think Jim Bob's hit the nail on the head there. Something that we should do then. I think this will probably be a good way of doing it. Let's actually make a list. So I've got pen and paper now. I was a bit more organised than I thought, and it was all right next to me on my little bookshelf thing. So that was not a fun afternoon. Roof mud bad. Yes. Okay, yeah. So I've forgotten everything that we've said already. So kitchen towel. I remembered that bit. Kitchen roll. Plasters.
Yep.
Do you think just like a generic first aid kit?
Yeah, probably. So I always like go for plasters because as much as I normally trust my boots, once it's time in, so I just sort of pre-plaster my feet where they tend to blister, so then they don't blister. Can't blister through a plaster.
So Baz has decided to drop in and grace us with his presence. Hello all, can't stay long, I'm in the pub. I thought I'd drop by and say hey. Wow, I think Baz is up at a froth meet, I believe. So, but have a pint for us, Baz, and enjoy it, mate. Really enjoy it. You have a good evening. Thank you for saying hi. So, kitchen roll, plasters, painkillers. Oh, tangent. Did you ever witness people in the Mudpocalypse losing the soles of their boots?
I witnessed someone losing a whole entire boot on the battlefield.
Yeah, that's happened. That happens a lot.
Just trudging around in a sock and a boot, looking really unhappy.
Yeah, I've seen that.
People losing whole wellies in mud slicks. But I didn't witness anyone's footwear coming apart. But...
So down by where the Senate is, you get where everything sort of meets. So PD seem to have, they've put in a lot more drainage and stuff. So it's looking really good, the site. But okay, where they had like the three-way, like the three-way meet bit right in the middle, I saw someone walk through that, realise that they were sinking and start to run. They got to the other side, the top of the boot was still on their foot, and then they just sort of raised it, and then you realised, oh, I can see this. Oh no, their socks are there. And they didn't care. No more cares were given. They just walked back in, picked up the sole of their boot, and then very sadly strolled off back to their tent. So
really, what else can you do at that point?
No, exactly. I felt really bad for them. I really, really did. The more you hear about it, the more you laugh about it, but it just becomes one of those things, doesn't it, in the end? So that's happened to you on the moors, Amy. Oh, yeah, I can't imagine. I've lost boots, but you just turn around and pick it up again. Or if you're Helen, my other half, we were on the beach in Hunstanton, and yeah, she loses a trainer and then proceeds to step like halfway up to her shin in like soggy sand. I've got a photo of it somewhere. Instead of helping, I took a photo. So evil. So evil. Okay, so what? So mini, pan, and brush as well. So we'll deal with all the OC stuff first. I think that's probably a good idea, and then at least then we can say that from this video, at least we've got a nice list to be made and stuff like that. I'm assuming that have you already put a list, something like this, on your Google Docs and stuff?
I started one at some point. I think it's got like 3 things on it. And a list of things I didn't elaborate on.
Van bubblegum, bin bags. I'd forgotten that one. Thank you.
The doormat. That's on my list.
Doormat. Oh yeah, because I mean, if you go to like Poundland or something like that, or B&M or something like that, you can pick up you pick up a doormat for like £3 or something, and they work absolute wonders. They really, really do. So, but yeah, bin bags, doormat, yeah, that's really cool. I want to see someone with you know, the doorbell, the Ring doorbell that you can put on somewhere, and then it goes straight to your phone, so you could sit in your tent and then someone can ring a doorbell. You just have to hide it behind like a sheet or something hanging down. But that would be great. I'd love that. How much OC clothes should you bring? I was just thinking just 2, one for going, one for home.
Yeah.
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 So travel clothes
Mm.
to and from.
Yeah. Or if you don't care because you're going to be stinky anyway because you've been LARPing all weekend, just put the same clothes back on.
Yeah, that's
that
what
you
I
went
do.
in. Or give
Yeah.
up on that entirely and go home half in kit because you just can't be pestered.
Yeah, I mean, I tend to, I think, because where I use my kilt as a like an underlayer, and then I put stuff over the top of it so you can't actually see the kilt as well. Obviously, until later in the evening when I'm quite drunk, and I don't care that people can see the kilt, and no one else really does either because they're drunk as well, and no one cares if like your slip's showing or something like that. Essentially, isn't it really? So those are the sort of things. So Matt's just put something in, and I've been waiting for this statement to come in on chat. OC clothes take up the valuable space that could be used for more IC clothes. I've been waiting for that. But when I come back from an event, I generally will still have my kilt on. I'll have a clean t-shirt on. I'll have the clean trainers on. I will have removed some of my face, not all of it. I'll still be in half of the face paint. I'll still be covered in mud, and that'll be me done. And the looks that you get when you go into KFC,
Oh yeah,
it's great. I bet they've missed it. Like the big Tesco's near Anvil as well. I bet they have missed seeing all the LARPers wandering around in there. So
yeah, I've stopped off at a service station to get a massive box of chicken nuggets while wearing cloak. Because I was like, no, I'm keeping my tired cloak. Blue face paint on. They didn't really seem to bat an eyelid. There's probably people in more kit before we even got there, so. Yeah.
It's always the way though, isn't it? Do you play Spot the LARPer?
Try. Don't think we've encountered anyone on the way down, but on the way back, we've seen like other people half in kit. One time I think one time we was at a service station and there was a bunch of Empire crew with the Empire crew t-shirts on.
Nice.
And I was like, oh, shall I say hi? No, that's weird. I won't. So.
Well, I think it would be weird if you went over and gave them hugs. But I think a hi might be all right. It's give up, go home in kit, become the weird cryptid in a service station on the M1, both in cloaks, harem pants instead of blue faces. There was a Dornish lady and a Dornish child in a McDonald's with us once.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm guessing that's Gemma.
Yeah. Yeah. See, those sorts of things, I love that. Slippers are a lifesaver. Yeah. I prefer trainers that you can just throw on really quickly. And so when you get the inevitable, for the people who stay up quite late to have a few drinks, 5, 6 a.m. toilet rush is the best way to describe it. You wake up desperate for a wee. And you don't want to be there faffing about with your boots and stuff like that. So you just want to literally throw yourself out of bed, throw something on your feet, and then run to the toilets. That's what you want to do. In Hurstal, we are incredibly lucky because we are 30 feet from the toilets in Wintermark. I won't say some of the sights I have seen in the mornings, or even in the middle of the night when you look out into the woods and you can see these like shadows next to trees. It's just like, oh, okay. So you get that as well. Anvil Crocs, they should be a thing. Do you see all of the people? So another tangent. This is like a tangent on a tangent on a tangent. Do you see the amount of people wearing onesies first thing in the morning?
I've seen a few.
Have you seen the unicorn onesie?
I haven't.
She walks. I think she's in Wintermark. She's a young lady, and she will walk from somewhere down to the toilet. Cheers, Pete. It's just in the tangent train. She will walk from wherever she is in Wintermark, happily walking down, wearing this insanely bright onesie. She'll have the hood up, and she'll have the unicorn horn on it as well, and she'll not care in the world. And it's just like, I think I've worn my lion onesie once, and I've had to put the hood up, so I've got the big mane around my head, so it also like meshes with the beard, which is really, really nice. So yes, bring your penguin onesie. You have to. I will say this as well, onesies are incredibly warm. So at night, if you are that cold, chuck your onesie on, wear a t-shirt, pair of shorts or something underneath it. You'll be, wear your nighttime socks as well. So one of the extra pairs of socks that you've bought, put them on at night. Nice clean pair. It is really, really cool. Onesie is a shout. Definitely bring in mine. It's the onesies are great. Really good way of keeping warm as well. So I have added airbed, camp bed, because that's just a thing. So at night, when you go and tuck yourself in, how many blankets, pillows do you have?
How many blankets? 3, 4. Ooh, lots.
So pillow and
the secret that we also end up taking lots of cushions just to like put around the tent because we're freeborn and it's what you do. So I use them as pillows instead of bringing a pillow. And the secret to all of that is backpacks.
I've heard people talking about
because you could have a cushion or you could have a cushion. So, and you can also backpack a gambeson, which really helps because they're massive.
Yes. Definitely. So would a shit ton of blankets be a sensible amount to bring? Yes. Yeah. It's better to be hot than to be cold and not have enough. That's all I could say. So, how do you get them back? Can you backpack in the field?
You can get little hand pumps for them. You can squash out most of the air without anything.
Okay.
And you can get your little electric pumps that you can plug into your car or what have you to vac.
Could you vac past a passenger?
Depends how big of a bag you've got.
So I don't know if any people are a fan of hat films, but there's a video called Vac Trot that they did, where they cut another hole in it and they gave him a straw to breathe through, a hose to breathe through, and they vacuum packed him.
Oh.
Yeah, it was a thing.
Well.
So Pete goes, camp bed, roll mat on top, cover as a layer of sheep fleece, lay on that, use sleeping bag as duvet. No kink shaming. Sorry. It's a funny video. Yeah, that works. Are you an airbed person, are you?
Roll mat. Just a roll mat because I hate myself.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I put airbed, camp bed, roll mat, so
yeah, I've been aiming.
Makes sense.
Was planning on getting one of the self-inflating mats because it's got a little bit of squish because I was in my 20s last time I went and now I'm not.
Yeah.
So and my back hurts because you turn 30 and your back hurts. It's just what happens. But
So what happens
I've got...
when you turn 40? Because I'm fucked.
I don't know. I'm not there yet.
Unfortunately,
But
I am. I'm finding things that are wrong every day.
yeah, my roll mat is one that's like foiled on one side. No, so it's the silver reflecty stuff.
Yes, it's insulated on one side.
Yeah, so you have that up, I think, to bounce some of your heat back into you.
Yeah.
So it doesn't all go into the ground.
Yes. Yeah. No, that makes
Very
sense.
helpful.
That makes sense because I've been told there. So at the Navarre clearing, one of the guys that we were with, he has one of the ones that they self-inflate, but there's multiple insulation layers within it as well. So yeah, very, very warm, very, very comfy. But even he was cold.
You can get just like your silver mats and put them under airbeds, and it helps some. Or on top of the airbed. I've not airbedded in a long time, but somewhere in the sandwich you put one.
Yeah. So
because airbeds suck the heat right out of you.
I love my airbed. Has your knee done that thing yet, Steve, where you'll be walking and it'll just be like, whoa, and give way for no reason, and for a half second you're like, what the fuck was that? Not yet. I am not looking forward to that. So yes, so R values stack. Thank you, Jim Bob. Yeah, so the R value of the mats, the roll mats, and everything like that, it all helps. So I will normally have like a cover underneath, a blanket or something underneath my airbed, so it gives you that extra bit of protection. Then I'll have something on top of the airbed. That's what I will sleep on, and then I'll have Helen's just said, to be fair, my knees do that. Helen's 23, so if that's happening to her, she's 23. None of us have any hope. Oh my god, everyone's falling apart in chat. Everyone's going, oh, I do this, I get this.
I was latexing a whole a big batch of bucklers, and then because I was having to lean over because I had them on the floor, and then when I stood up, my back hurt, and it's hurt ever since. So
that's a muscle issue then, by the sounds of it.
Yeah.
Stretch it.
I've tried. It just hurts now.
When both knees do it at the same time, that's when it's annoying. Rosie says, same here at 20. Helen's forgotten how old she is. Oh well. Either that or I'm just a really, really horrible fiance and I've forgotten how old she is. I'd prefer to think she's wrong, not me. So now I have to try to figure out how to ban her from chat so she can't actually tell me how old she is. But yeah, so that's how I sleep, and I'll have I'll have a duvet, and then I'll have the airbed, my sleeping bags as another duvet, as another cover, and then if it's that cold, I'll have my cloak on top as well, and if it's even more cold, I won't get undressed. I'll go to bed wearing everything that I was wearing. So it's, as long as it doesn't snow, I think we'll be all right, to be honest. You know you're broken when you cough and have to spend the rest of the day laying down as you put your back out.
It was a sneeze. Not a cough.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
I even stopped. I thought, oh, I'm going to not walk while I sneeze. Something bad might happen. Should have kept walking.
You should have kept walking. I went to an event and I was at work the day before, and I had brought myself a nice new camera because I was going to take loads of photos, and I thought that would be really cool. I didn't take any photos because I get too carried away in the game. And I held the camera and I passed it over to someone I worked with, and I literally just went, there you go. He took the camera And I was like, yeah, I can't move. That's my back gone. I can't move.
Aww.
So the entire event, absolutely wasted for me. Then I had Sam Wheatley to thank for saving that event for me, because he came over and was chatting a lot and brought chili. So, yeah, you know, simple things really. Is that for cold or drunkenness? That was for cold. That was for cold. I run really hot normally, so I've done events where everybody's saying how cold they are, and I'm boiling. I'm sat around the fire with them, and they're all like wearing all their stuff in a cloak, and they're really there shivering, and I'm just sat there in like essentially a shorts and t-shirt, being toasty. So it's it's a weird one.
I get warm when I'm sleepy, which really helps. So I had to sort of pre-warm my sleeping bag up with myself, who's too warm.
That makes sense. It's good. As long as it works, that's the main thing.
I'm like my own little heater.
Yeah.
I'm tired. I'm warm. Good.
Hot water bottle sounds good too. Bring a kettle, chuck it on the fire, and you're good to go. Thermal socks to sleep instead of fluffy socks for Rosie. Why lose all the heat of your clothes when getting changed? When you can just keep the heat. Yeah, I mean, I will wear. I'll have like I have cozy clothes, which are like 4 sizes too big for me. And then I can just sit there and be nice and chilled and comfy. So I will ideally put that on if I get into bed and stuff, because if I wake up at 5-6 o'clock in the morning desperate for a wee, you don't want to be faffing around with clothes and stuff like that. You just want to be able to run, and more often than not trip over your tent as well. As you do make a mad dash. It's great.
Need to wake everyone else up.
Yeah.
Because they've rattled everything.
Yeah. No, I'm not going to say that story because that's just disgusting. So I'm not going to say it. Hand warmers, chuck them in your sleeping bag 5 minutes before. That's a good shout. That is a very good shout. So what else do we need? What else should we put on this list then? Because at the moment we're very much on the OC list here.
Well, I suppose the OC side of things is it's not going to be in your mind as much. Do you think, oh, I'm going to a LARP event, I need all my LARP stuff?
Yeah.
Rather than, like, if you're not a person who goes camping or anything, it's a whole separate beast.
Yeah.
Because, I've never camped. I've LARPed, and there's been a tent, but I've never camped.
See, I love to camp. I love camping.
It's not
Van
quite the same
Bubblegum
thing
said
from
wet wipes. Wet wipes is a very good one. It's really nice to just, it's armpits, your bits, your hands, like the back of your neck, stuff like that. So it's just general hygiene, and with a wet wipe, it's a really good thing to do. Sorry, go on.
That's the thing. If you're a monster, and you have all your bleh on your face, micellar water. Straight off.
The what water?
Micellar. It's like but use it for removing makeup, but it's just magic. It's magic water in our tent.
Jem, I think Jem saw the confused look on my face and has now given me the spelling.
Yeah.
So thank you very much.
You see it
for that, Jem.
advertised on the telly for like taking off your eye makeup and stuff, but yeah, it's really good. You don't have to like scrub at your face quite as much, so.
Yeah. Sleeping bag, torch. That's the basics, isn't it, really? So,
torch, yeah.
Yeah, power pack.
That's the thing as well.
Yeah. Chapstick.
Sun cream.
Ooh.
Especially if you're lineaged. You don't want interesting tan lines.
Jin.
Get the Cambion tan, where top half
Gibby,
of your face
behave.
is pasty and the bottom half isn't.
Yeah. Who's seller? Thanks, Jim.
Yeah, I once had a tan line across my nose from my Cambion makeup.
Gin and tonic.
Took a while to go away.
The event where Mac and Grim went off on their tour of Anvil, and we were on Twilight. We were on Twilight for the first time. We were selling invisible hats and doing all of that sort of stuff. We ended up in the Navarre. We went into the 2 feet camp and we grabbed a double-headed axe, and we decided to give ourselves scars. So we basically put the thing between our faces and we were pulling each other's heads onto the axe. So the following day we did this big thick, with snaz, because we didn't have any rigiclodian. So we did 2 big thick red lines going down our face, like that. It was a lovely warm event. Monday, went into work, was just getting myself ready Monday morning and that, got myself sorted, and then I was looking at myself in the mirror and I was just like, oh no, there's a big line going down my face. Thankfully, everybody I worked with knew I LARPed. They knew I'd come back on Monday and I'd be exhausted and I'd have lots of stories to tell, and I would have lots of bruises in weird places. So, like, I came back into work one Monday and like it looked like half of my chin had exploded. I went to an event with a beard. I came back from the event without a beard, because with the young lady who deigned to punch me in the face with her steel gauntlet and cut my entire, like, my bottom lip exploded and my chin was cut open. I've spoken about why it happened and that quite a lot, because it's a good story to tell. There's no ill will there. It gives me a really good story. But when I went to the first aid, they shaved just this bit of my beard, and then I had butterfly stitches on. And I was just like stood there looking at myself with this nice big gap in my beard. I had to get rid of everything. So, you know, that was a thing too. But yeah, so I was used to that. And then they saw me come in and they were going, "You've caught the... Steve, why is there a line on your face?" We don't want to know. We're not just don't tell us the story. And then we get off to work. But yeah, it leads to interesting things. So yeah, so sun cream is a really good one. Toilet roll. That's just been brought up. Toilet roll.
You tend to be quite on it. The bog crew.
Oh yeah, definitely. They get the really cheap and they say cheap and nasty stuff. It's not nice, is it? Really, it's like wiping your nether regions with tracing paper. Sometimes.
Yeah, but it's there.
I know. Oh, definitely. I'm not criticising them in any way, shape, or form. When it's 2:00 in the morning and you're desperate for the toilet, you'd probably use a leaf if they had piles of them. Let's put it that way. So yeah, so toilet roll is really good because you can then just sit down and you know that you can go to the toilet, and you see everybody walking off to the loo with their own toilet roll, and stuff like that. So that's really, really good. So yeah, toilet roll is a good one. I'm tempted to book the Monday off work. It does sound like it's knackering. I recommend booking the Monday off. I really do. I'm doing the dumbest thing imaginable after E1, and I'm streaming on the Sunday.
Oh.
Yeah.
Wouldn't you be home by then?
We'll
get home about 10.
We'll be home by late afternoon, 5ish, probably 5-6 o'clock, and
we've not even left the field by then because we've like faff on with everything for ages.
I think it's a good. I'm looking forward to it. I'm gonna be exhausted. I know I'm gonna be exhausted. I'm gonna be an absolute mess. But I think it's an interesting one, so that people can see at the end of it how someone, well, how they look for a start. Because, wow, yeah, that's this covered in mud, makeup, and I'm just going to be sat here just like staring. So yeah, I'll be doing that, but I think it's a nice one to show people this is how you're feeling on the Sunday, and I've got home at a sensible sort of time. So you got to feel for the people who are still on site at 10 o'clock in the evening because the weather is so bad they're waiting for a tractor to pull them out, and then they're not going to get home till 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock in the morning, and then they're going to work as well. So rest is a massive thing. The other plus side as well is that I will get to sit down on that stream and I'll have whatever alcohol I've got left next to me. So I'll be getting progressively more and more drunk on that stream. And I will also have the takeaway that I have ordered. Whatever takeaway I've decided to have that evening as well. So I will just be sat here in absolute mess, just going, hi, I've come back from a field. I'm a state. Look at how much of a state I look. But I think it's an interesting one for people to relate to as well. And because I think a lot of people get a bit worried that it's like, oh, I'm so tired, but I don't want to say how tired I am. It's just like, you be tired. Everyone's knackered.
Somehow it's much more exhausting than you think it's going to be. Even if you sit around and don't do much, it's just, I don't know, you're outside, you're in the fresh air, it takes out you.
It really does.
You do a lot more walking than you think you're going to do, even if you don't think you're doing any walking at all. Because, yeah.
I walked around the field once when we were up there for the Navarre clearance. I got up in the morning and I did a loop of the whole field. That was me done for the day. I was just done. So I don't want to do any more work. Can I go to sleep now? It's usually about 11 p.m. But by the time I get home, car stream. Oh, I don't think I could put Dan through that. So yeah, he looked like he got dragged through a bush backwards. So, funny story. Yeah, that'll be the thing. As someone who's LARPed through A-levels, I used to get back at midnight, head into school 8 hours later. If you feel like you need a day's rest, take it. I think I'm going to take the Monday off to recoup. No point playing hero. Definitely. I used to say, where I used to work, they were an emergency service they were the gas emergency service, so it was quite an important job. And I'm not ashamed to say it. If I booked the holiday and I couldn't get the Monday, I phoned in sick because I was not actually able to work. If I came into work, it would have been more dangerous. Because at least if I'm not there, people can cover me. But if I was there and I'm not switched on, it was more dangerous. So I will always say, if you need to rest, even at like the Tuesday, I know people who have taken the Tuesday off as a sick day because they're still absolutely exhausted. They're covered in all the bruises. So like if you're wearing plate and you're an idiot like me, I put it on a little bit loose than it should be. And I'm covered in bruises along here, underneath here, all down my biceps. So I'm like, the top half of me is like purple. Then when you get in as well, I will recommend. So my biggest recommendation, I don't know if you'll agree with me on this one, Saiph. When I get in, I don't unpack.
Oh, no.
I will put everything in one place and I'll go, that's tomorrow's problem. And then, even if it's clean, everything is in that washing machine. It all just gets thrown in, and it's like, that's a bag empty. I'm done. And then like the fire pit, bed, and the airbed, all that sort of stuff, it just gets put away. And then it's like, I'll just watch everything.
It's like I can't deal with anything when I get in. Say it's like 10 o'clock, and also it's all in Gemma's car, and she has another however long to drive, which but she'll come back to mine on Monday to drop everything off, and then it'll stay there and think about what it's done for a few days.
How long does it normally take for you to recover?
I'll
rephrase the question. Physically, how long does it take for you to recover?
Depends on the event, really, but
same question for everyone in chat. I'm curious.
I won't want to do anything for the rest of the week, but whether that's because I can't or just because I don't want to, I just need a holiday to recover from the weekend, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think you at least need an extra day to just realign your brain again.
Yeah.
Just to process everything.
I have had a day dealing with gas leaks, where I'm talking to all the engineers in an Irish accent. Because I've just spent the last 4 days speaking with an Irish accent, and I can't drop it. So it's like I'm having to focus on speaking like Steve. So the amount of times I've come back from an event and the engineers who I've got to know would turn around and say, "Oh, you've been LARPing, have you, Steve?" And so it's like, yeah. And that's really cool. But it's been quite... It's nice that you can do that, but it's difficult as well. The recovery afterwards, after an event, can be very, very difficult. I mean, obviously, I'm not going into anything in IC here. No, I'm not talking character bleed. I'm not talking like that. We're literally talking about you as a person. This is how long it takes people to recover. I'm the same. A week, probably. You don't want to do anything at all. You want to just sit down and
just got like
yeah. This is the interesting one then. So this is going to be an interesting one, I think, for everyone in chat as well. I hope you're prepared for this, because you know we're on a series of videos that you have to come back for now, because we have to get these lists all done. So we'll be getting you on again to do this, with all the tangents and everything as well. Mentally, how long does it take for you to recover from an event?
Now, I want to say that I never do, really. But I don't have anything else going on, so I just have to wait for the next one to happen and then just...
No.
I go LARPing, I come home, I make things for other people to play with when they're LARPing, and then I go LARPing again.
So how long? Okay, how long would you say then that in your headspace would you say, right, I'm comfortable now to be doing X, Y, or Z again? I don't want to sit here and be a hermit. I want to sit. I want to actually. Like, I feel like I'm able to do something else.
It'll take a few days, really, just to, completely drop out of character, because you have your little...
I think yeah.
You have like your little mannerisms that you started doing. You hold yourself in a different way, and you're like, no, that's someone else. That she's back in a box.
Yeah.
Stay there for a few weeks.
Because I find I am 100 times more confident when I come back from an event.
Oh yeah.
And I remember engineers who nobody would argue with because they don't like them. So these are atypically, they're engineers from London, they're engineers from the Highlands in Scotland, because the company dealt with everyone all over the country. So people like that, if they don't want to do something, these people love to have a bit of an argument. So before, I'd be nice and political, and I'd be like diplomatic, and just be like, no, you've got to do this. After an event, I will not. If someone's after an argument, I will end up getting pulled into the office by a manager just to go, Steve, You can't tell an engineer to fuck off. So it does happen. This is just questions popped up. What's the best advice for new players with the IC character stuff? Should we listen more and try to take in the lore, or like what should we do for talking IC? I'm nervous I'll ruin someone's game not role playing properly.
You won't ruin someone's game.
No.
Everyone role plays differently.
Yeah.
You'll work out your way of doing it, and you'll just be able to just slip into that, and off you go. It takes a while to be able to get in the right headspace for it, like work out what's what. But for me personally, I just find that after I've been a character for long enough, I just start being them.
Yeah.
Rather than thinking, oh, what would this character do now? You just start acting like they would. It just comes across. It comes across you just like you're them now. Tough. Deal with it.
I think.
Or you think your character's thoughts. It's really cool. I mean, it won't be like that for everyone. I want to stress that if that's not something that you end up doing, if you just think about just blah, 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 that's however you do it is fine. But yeah,
no, I completely agree. I think everyone gets into character differently. For me, because I'm saying for me a lot, because when people do stuff in character, it's very personal to them and how they get into character and what they do. So I know for some people it's when the mask goes on, when the horns go on, where they strap on their weapons or something like that. For me, it's when my face paint goes on. That's when I become Mac. I've got the silhouetted footprints on my head. I've got my face paint on, and that's when I'm good to go. Do not put too much pressure on yourself and worry about the roleplay, because you'll have an idea in your head and you'll be going, how do I want this person to be? What do I want to play like? And after an hour, you'll have changed, and your character will develop the more you talk to people. So Mac was a throwaway character that was just there to get drunk and fight, and he's developed into an information broker, and he's involved in a lot of stuff. But it's grown. So whereas beforehand I was sarcastic, I wouldn't give a shit, I would answer everyone back, and I'd be very, very bullshit. Mac has changed. But it's really, really, don't worry. So if someone asks you a question about something and you don't know, don't go, oh no, I'm going to ruin their roleplay. Just go, oh, I have no clue. They'll go, oh, okay, cheers. And then they'll go off and find someone else. You've had an interaction. That's all that matters. I will say, your first interaction is a very, very important one, because that is you getting into character, and that is you having if you walk around and you see someone, just say hi. They'll say hi back, and you'll go separate ways. Well done. You've had your very first interaction as your character.
Like that.
It's great. It's what I loved. I like to do that. So I will sit down with everyone at Hurst Hall and we'll be blahing it up, and then someone will walk past, and even just a little nod, something like that to them, and they'll sort of wave, say hi, and then they'll go off on their merry way. Yeah, that's great too. I've had my interaction. I feel a little bit more comfortable now. I'm sort of set. I've got my face on. I'm ready to go and be a twat to people. It's a nice way to be. I don't like to do anything too heavy to start off with. So, excuse me, if someone comes up to me immediately and says, we need to talk about this, and this, I have said to them, right, I've been in Anvil for 5 minutes. Can you please come back in 10 minutes? I say, just give me a second. Just, yeah. Hold your horses. I'm not going anywhere. And if I know the person and I don't want to talk to them about it, I will go somewhere else. So when they come back, I am not there. They'll have to find me later when I'm ready to deal with it. But it's just... is there like an intro thing for new players and nations? There is there's like a big national meeting that every nation does. And people will stand up and say, this is what's going on. This is battles, skirmishes, bits of plot. If you want to do this, you go there. If you want to do this, you go there. If you're new, come here. And then all the newbies turn up and they go, these people are new. Be nice to them. And you will find that a lot of people will want to grab a new player to say, what do you want to do? What are you interested in? What do you want to see? What do you want to know? And then they will say, right, okay, I have nothing to do with that. But you see those 8 people over there? Go find them. Go over there. Go and say hi. Say you're new to Anvil, and then do your thing. And you'll be involved in stuff. So it's the best bit of advice I'll say is don't put yourself under any pressure. Walk around. Matt put a thing in the Empire forum asking what are good things to see and do for your first time at Empire. Just wing it. That's perfect. That's what everyone else does. But he put a thing there, and I just said something that I would recommend everyone do is when they've done like the standing and all of these sorts of things, is to aim to go to one fire at every single nation and say, hi, I'm new to Anvil, and have a chat with someone. If I ask them about the nation, just say, I don't really know too much about your nation, and ask. And if they go, I'm new as well, then have a chat with them. See what they know about their nation. A little bit, just give them a little bit of a nudge, and it'll be great. And then if they're new, then they're potentially looking to talk to someone who's new, and you build up that rapport and stuff like that, and you've got someone who you can go in, like on the Saturday or the Sunday morning, can go, oh, I know person A in that nation. I'll go and ask them about that bit of plot for you if you want. And you're involved. And then before you know it, you're involved in more things than you actually realise. I will say this as well for all the new players, and this is something this is why we love LARP. This is why Empire is so good to people. And this is why when I talk about it, I speak so passionately about it all, is stories. I love a story. You've watched, I dread to think how many streams I've done. 200 and something streams. I love a good story. I want to hear people's stories. I have spoken to so many new players who have said, I've done an event and I didn't really do anything. It's like, I'm sure you did something. And they say, well, we just did this, we did this, we did this. It's like, well, what was that? What was that thing that you did there? And they say, oh, I did this. I spoke to this person. They wanted me to go over there and get this information. But it turns out they were meant to do it and being lazy. So I went off and spoke to this person. We got this done and this done. I was like, okay, that's a really good story. I like that. So essentially your story is someone was being lazy. So you've got involved in something and you've done that. So you haven't done nothing. And it's really good. And you get all of these stories that come out of it. So you want to go off and have a fight. Great. I want to hear about what you did in a battle, your first time. I want to hear about what you did. You did nothing? You stood at the back? Oh, but you ran in, you picked some people up, you dragged them back to the healers. That's more heroic than a lot of people I know who stand at the front line and fight. That's awesome. That's great, and I want to hear about it. These are all things that build this game up to so many people. I will stress as well, we all love LARP, but it is a game. It really is just a game. It's easy to get too involved and stuff like that as well, but you can leave things behind and sit there and go, I had a great weekend and I did all these things, but I have got work tomorrow, so I need to switch off from LARP for a while, and then I can come back to it in a week when I'm more in the right headspace for it. And that's all right to do as well. totally all right to do. I mean, I'll stream on the Sunday. I don't know how much of me you'll see that week. I might sleep for 5 days. Who knows? I might be drunk for 5 days. Who knows? So, good stories don't have to be epic sagas. No, they really don't. I heard a really good story from one of the Scops in Wintermark, and her entire story was her visiting every single nation. This is where I got the idea from. Every single nation, and speaking to one person at a fire. So she made a point of looking for one person who was sat on their own at a fire, and she went and just sat down and had a chat. That was her story. And she met some incredible people. All people who were tired, wanted to stop for a while, and they needed just that little calm interaction. It's great. It really is great. You don't have to be the angry, shouty battle person. You can be the soft-spoken, calm voice of reason, the sense, and stuff like that. So I know watching me, you get a lot of all the stupid stuff that I get up to. But I will say, I'm exhausted 24/7 at Empire. I'm knackered. I'm so tired all the time. It's really tiring to be switched on constantly. It really is. But I do it because I love it. Is it recommended to have a backstory for your character? That's completely up to you, Rach. Have you got a backstory, Saiph?
Yep.
How big?
Oh, one that's far too involved.
Oh, right.
Far too involved, but also completely inconsequential to anything.
Yeah.
It just gives you just something to anchor your character to while you point them over there.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think mine's a paragraph. Parents were alive and well. They've died in play because we wanted to bring stuff in. New characters in and who are linked, so they came in as just like, oh yeah, mum's died, so oh well, where's the cake and things like that. So your backstory is completely up to you. You don't have to have one if you choose not to. Oh Matt, that's amazing. I've never heard that and I love that. Backstory, forward story is where it's at. That's brilliant. That's really cool.
Yeah.
I've never thought of it like that. Ah, that's really cool. That's really, really cool. There you go, Rach. So that's a good way to look at it then. You've got an idea in your head of where your character's from, what their family, and that's it. Names, bog standard, really, really simple. Think about where you want to go, what you want to do. People you'd like to meet. I recommend Skywise Fal. I hear he's a lovely, lovely, lovely person to chat to. Highly recommended. Oh my god, I'm just going to send everyone to Fal in character. Oh my god, the orcs are going to kill me. It's great. But forward story, I like that. I really, really like that. But your backstory, when you come up with anything, is as involved as you want to be. If you want to have a happy family who worked the farm, never did anything, then yeah, perfect. That's literally my backstory. With some other little bits in it, but that's just for stuff that I know is never going to come up in character. If you want it to be the really tragic, all of my family are dead, murdered by all the barbarians under the sun, then that's fine too. It's your character. It's your story. Realistically, your backstory only exists to inform your opinions for the stories you'll make. Yeah, basically. So it's on a pure technical term thing. PD use keywords to search for people. So if you want to be involved in some cult stuff, be very careful of the spelling. But you put cults in your backstories. Yeah, so literally, yeah. You put they'll do a keyword search, and they'll come up with a list of 20 people, and they'll send some plot team out to look for those people and go, there you go, deal with that. And it's
sometimes you get when you collect your pack, you might have some that slipped in there. I had that once. It was like a whole character ago, so I don't mind talking about it. It was like, oh, you've had over the course of several nights, you had this weird dream, and then this thing appeared, and we woo, basically, and then you got some weird mana. And it's like, oh, just go find out what that is, but then I ended up not doing that because it was too muddy. I didn't know where anyone was, and I didn't want to go and look.
Yeah,
but that was just in my pack, just when I collected it. Yeah. That was probably a keyword thing. Or random, I don't know how to do it, but yeah.
No, it's all just they will literally do a search, and it's just a keyword, and something will pop up, and they'll have a list, and that'll be it, and that'll be everyone sorted, and then they'll throw plot at you. My first character, I had a really long background that revolved around his military career and Empress Britta, and I had a herald. They were sending heralds out and people out to look for people who were involved in Britta's army. There were quite a few, it turns out, but I had a herald turn up to deliver some plot, and as soon as they mentioned the sorceress that had killed Britta, I'd hacked him to pieces, killed him on the spot, and yeah, I wasn't getting any more of that plot, and it turns out I missed out on some really epic plot. But that's how my character would have reacted, so I couldn't let that sort of colour it, you know. But you can also add onto your backstory later by emailing PD, so don't sweat it too much for your first event. Yeah, first event, get there, get in the field, get in character, wander, talk, listen. Song and story time, the theatre as well, 2 really good places to go and see. The Orc Camp, lots of good stories in the Orc Camp. Yeah, everybody, really. I will say this, and there is no insult to LARPers here. LARPers love to talk about themselves. They love to talk about their own characters. So it's... You feel
really smart and really clever. You've made this brilliant character, so everyone else needs to know about it.
Exactly.
You put into all this effort, you sat there and you've been like, oh, right. This little vague line on the wiki, that's mine now, I'm having that. I'm going to make sure everyone knows it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly it. I had my first character, someone came up and admitted to me that they were in a cult. That was so basically it was all heresy. They were all going to get killed, and first character, I think it was E2. I'm just like, don't know how to respond to that really in character at the moment. No one did at that time. Now, if someone came up to me and said that, I'd have killed them, just hacked them, put them on the bleak out, carried them to the militia, let them deal with it. Then that would have been it. But back then, it added backstory. It was my dead father's sword and all of that as well. So, but yeah, loads and loads of stuff. So, right. My list at the moment, 1, 2, 3,
oh, yeah,
4,
the list.
5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, has 17 things on it. This is all OC stuff.
Is glue on there? Did you put glue down? Specifically, yes. Contact adhesive. There you go.
Contact adhesive.
Like little tubes you can get.
Yeah.
Because if you just have a really quick fix, like, oh, the latex is peeling on my weapon, glue. My shoe looks a bit suspicious, glue it. Yeah. Something's coming apart, glue. It'll do.
String and rope.
I felt really bad for that
tape.
accidental rhyme. That's
Yeah. Orc camp, well worth seeing. There's always guards. Well, I say guards. The welcome committee. Yeah, they just want to chat. That's what they're there for. They want to talk to people. So, I will say, just stabbing people isn't a fantastic solution to problems I see. Definitely not. Definitely not. If people, heralds, stuff like that, come up to you looking for you, I mean, hindsight's a wonderful thing. They want to chat, unless they turn up to you armed to the teeth and saying they're gonna kill you, in which case they want to have a bit of a scrap. So yeah, so definitely that. In Anvil, I'd say talk first, weapons later. Okay, so yeah, that's basically it. I think we'll have to call it there because it's like 8:45 now, so we've gone on a lot further than. Do you need to carry weapons the whole time? No, not if you don't want to. Not if you don't want to. A lot of people will carry a knife at all times, and that'll be it. So, yeah, so we'll call it there. But this is part 1 now, and then yeah, we'll do more of these because I think this is a nice thing to carry on chatting about, and it's good to get input from chat as well of things that they bring and suggestions and stuff. It's really cool. Yeah, so I think I'll type that up at some point, and we can go through everything, and then we'll do an icy list as well, because that could be quite interesting too.
I can share my Google Doc that I did a while back in the Discord as well.
Yeah.
That has all various things in.
Yeah. No, that's perfect. Yeah, we can get that done. EJ's feels so much more calm about it. That's good. So yeah, that's good. I like the fact that it's helping. I mean, essentially this stream was Saiph's idea. So, well,
it just popped into my head because saw people talking about, oh, what do I have one set of clothes? Is that enough clothes? Is that enough in character clothes? I'm like, no, you need more trousers.
Yeah.
Basically.
Yeah, we will do one.
The mud will get you, even when it's dry and sunny. It'll get you somehow.
Yes.
It just waits.
Yeah, definitely.
Wait, so you're not prepared and mud.
Yeah, we'll do an in character one, an IC one as well, so that people can see everything that they need to bring to sort their kit out and stuff. So yeah. So thanks. Yeah, thank you everybody for coming to watch. Drinks and food stream. That's a good idea, actually. Yeah, we can do something like I'll have a think about who could get on for that. Do something like that. I mean, to be honest, it'd probably be worth doing like a little panel stream for all the OC stuff, IC stuff, food, tent, travel, everything.
Yeah.
That could be quite cool. So cooking with Steve. No. Oh dear. Oh, you gifted another one. You're a legend. One more to end the stream. To Robin as well. Hi, Robin. So, yeah, she's awesome. Really, really talented as well. Get in the bin talented, you may say. Remember that one. It's going to catch on, I hope. Yeah, really, really talented. There's too many talented people at LARP. I just wish I was one of them. I can do this. This is me. This is me. Get me in that field and I'll just shout at people. So, yeah, Saiph, thank you so much for coming on. Kind of short notice because I mentioned it this morning. See if you were free.
Fine.
But we'll get the next one planned as well. See if we can get all the list ones done before E1. That will probably be sensible. And that, so yeah, have a look. Let me know when you're free, and then we'll get it done. And then we can, because I think these sorts of things help everybody, don't they?
Yeah.
And I'll write another list out as well. So, because it might be something quite nice to have all of the lists in one place. So, but still. Do I want to raid anybody? No, I can't be bothered. I'm tired. So, thanks for I'm super excited to get involved. No, thank you for coming along asking questions, Rach. That's fantastic. It's just, yeah, more questions. All the questions, in fact. Answer it. Ask anything. They're all welcome. So, thank you so much for coming on, Saiph. Thank you, everyone in chat. Thank you for the questions, the subs, follows, everything like that. It's yeah, I'm still absolutely gobsmacked by the whole thing. So it's fantastic. Much love to you all. The world's a shit show right now, so everybody stay safe. Look after yourselves, and if you're struggling at any point, reach out to people. Okay, don't suffer in silence because you're not on your own. All right. I think I'm now going to go and play some Sea of Thieves for a little bit with some people and just chill. Take care, everyone. Stay safe, and I'll see you all on Monday. Bye.